The Hall of Timeless Wealth existed in a place where time did not follow the rules of the outside world. It was neither past nor present, neither myth nor reality. It was something in between, a bridge where centuries met. When Armin first stepped inside, the air felt heavy, as if the wisdom of thousands of years pressed gently against his skin. Faint golden particles floated around him, glowing softly like memories drifting through the air. A slow hum rose from the floor as the circular platform awakened. Then, with a burst of warm, shimmering light, the first figure appeared, Mansa Musa. His presence alone felt like witnessing a sunrise emerging from darkness. Draped in an elegant robe woven with threads of pure gold, he walked with the calm dignity of a man who knew his worth was beyond calculation. Behind him, endless caravans of camels stretched into the horizon, each carrying gold dust, silk, spices, and countless treasures gathered from across the Mali Empire. Traders followed with respect, musicians with excitement, and scholars with reverence. It was as if the entire richness of West Africa had materialized to honor its king. As Armin watched, the scene shifted to a dusty desert road where Mansa Musa embarked on his legendary pilgrimage to Mecca. Gold poured generously from his hands as he gifted it to the poor, the merchants, and the rulers along the way. Historians claimed his generosity was so immense that the price of gold collapsed for years in the regions he passed. This wasn't just wealth, it was influence on a scale that reshaped economies. Armin felt goosebumps rise on his arms. Without warning, the golden desert dissolved into a new scene, this time an American industrial landscape. A tall, sharply dressed man emerged, John D. Rockefeller. He looked calm, calculated, and composed, standing before a vast empire of refineries and railroads. Unlike Musa's divine aura of gold, Rockefeller radiated a colder, sharper energy, the energy of strategy, discipline, and unstoppable ambition. Oil barrels lined the backdrop, trains thundered past, and towering chimneys pumped smoke into the skies. It was the birth of modern industry, and Rockefeller stood at its center. Armin realized he wasn't just watching two wealthy men. He was witnessing two worlds colliding. One built on natural resources, ancient trade, and generosity, the other built on corporate power, innovation, and relentless expansion. Yet both had shaped the world beyond their lifetimes. The hall allowed the figures to coexist peacefully, neither overshadowing the other. Musa's wealth glowed like the sun, warm and overwhelming. Rockefeller's wealth gleamed like steel, precise, controlled, and modern. As they faded into golden dust, Armin felt a deep truth settle in his heart. Wealth wasn't simply about numbers or possessions. It was about legacy, impact, and the footprints left across time. The Hall of Timeless Wealth began to dim, preparing for the emergence of the next figures whose stories would challenge the meaning of richness itself. The silence inside the hall deepened as the rotating platform sank into the floor. A moment later, a massive stone structure rose in its place, a colossal balance scale. Its two sides hung perfectly even, untouched by the passage of time. The floor beneath Armin vibrated gently, and a cold wind brushed past him, as if history was inhaling before telling its next story. The first figure to appear was Emperor Augustus Caesar. Dressed in a regal Roman robe with a laurel crown resting proudly on his head, Augustus stood with unshakable authority. His presence alone carried the weight of a civilization that once controlled the known world. Behind him, bustling Roman markets came to life, vendors selling olive oil, silk, and copper, soldiers marching in perfect formation, senators debating the future of the empire, artisans carving marble statues. Roads stretched out like veins from Rome into distant lands, carrying wealth, culture, and power. Augustus didn't possess wealth the way modern billionaires did, he personified the prosperity of an empire. His riches were measured in citizens, armies, land, and influence. On the other side of the balance scale, surrounded by floating screens of stock charts, rocket designs, and digital maps, stood Elon Musk. Wearing his modern black jacket, he looked like a man pulled straight from the future. The empire behind him wasn't built from stone or marble but from technology, innovation, and ideas. Gigafactories hummed, rockets soared into the sky, satellites orbited the planet, and electric cars glided silently across highways. His wealth shifted constantly, rising and falling with the value of innovation itself. Yet it was impossible to deny the boldness of his ambition. to reshape energy, transportation, and even humanity's destiny beyond Earth. For a moment, the two men observed each other across the balance scale. Augustus spoke with the commanding tone of a ruler who shaped the ancient world. He described wealth as stability, order, and the power to govern millions. Musk replied with a confident smile, explaining that wealth today meant pushing boundaries, creating the future rather than maintaining the past. Suddenly, the hall illuminated with images blending their worlds. Roman roads merged seamlessly into futuristic hyperloop tunnels. Legionnaires marched beside robotic engineers. Marble statues stood next to gleaming rockets ready to launch. The contrast between the ancient emperor and the modern innovator dissolved, revealing a deeper connection. Each defined the height of wealth in his era. Armin watched with awe as the balance scale remained perfectly still. Neither side weighed more. Neither story overshadowed the other. The hall was teaching him something profound, that wealth cannot be measured by gold alone, nor by stock values, nor by the vastness of land or the reach of technology. Wealth evolves with time. Every age creates its own richest figure, shaped by the needs, dreams, and possibilities of that era. As the figures faded and the hall grew quiet again, Armin felt as though he had witnessed a conversation between centuries. And in that powerful silence, he understood. The richest person in history is not one individual, it is the story of humanity's changing dreams.